trusted, they tip and they sway. The sword's been dulled, it's been locked away. The blindfold slips, revealing the game. Lady Justice, tell me, who do we blame? This isn't balanced, this isn't right. Who stole the stars from the flag tonight? Lady Justice, where are you now? We're screaming loud, but you don't hear a sound. This isn't the America I knew. Lady Justice, where are you? The gavel falls, but it don't make a dent. The halls of power feel broken and bent. Promises whisper and swept with the breeze. Truth gets tangled in the webs of greed. Blindfold torn and the swords in the dirt. The scales can't hold the weight of the herd. Oh, tell me, where did you go, Lady Justice? We need you so. Lady Justice, where are you now? We're screaming loud, but you don't hear a sound. This isn't the America I knew. Lady Justice, where are you? Lady Justice, where are you now? We're screaming loud, but you don't hear a sound. This isn't the America I knew. Lady Justice, where are you? Lady Justice, where are you now? We're screaming loud, but you don't hear a sound. This isn't the America I knew. Lady Justice, where are you?
Hello, good evening, or what time is it? 8:30, almost nighttime. Thanks for joining. I haven't done a live stream in quite some time. I want to say maybe a week or two. And it is absolutely cold. And for those viewers that are impacted by the snow and this horrible storm, I hope everyone's staying safe and nice and warm. Let's see, who do we have in here? Got Heather Brown. Hey, Heather. Thanks for coming. Got Cryptex. How's it going? You got a drink in your hand, Cryptex? Oh, we got the bird in here. Bird, 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 bird is the word. I hope you liked my short. Carol. Hey, Carol. Did you get my email? I responded to you. I'm not sure if you got it or not. All right. So I thought we got all this information that has come out, and a lot of us are digging into court documents, and we're kind of like in an in-between stage here. The last I checked, we're waiting on the appeal process. And I thought, I do this a lot. I like to go back to the beginning and just see what news reports were out there. And so what I did today is I went into Reddit, and there's a lot of good Reddit Delphi, what do you call them, subs? Subreddits. I think that's the term here. And I pulled the timeline, and it has a lot of good information and the source where that information has been derived from. So I am going to go over a timeline, and we're going to go look through some early reporting coming out as far as February 13th. We're going to go into February 14th just to kind of see what information was out there. A lot of information, as we all know has changed over time. So we're gonna review that now that we have what came out in trial. So I'm gonna do that. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Is everyone staying warm and safe? Cryptex, I did see it was pretty damn cold by you too. Yesterday, I think we got in the Chicagoland area -10. I want to say that is without the wind chill. When I woke up this morning, it was -6, and it did warm up to, I think it went into the positive 6 degrees Fahrenheit. I mean, cold is cold, right? I think like at a certain point, it just all feels the same. All right. Let me share my screen and I'm going to show you what we're going to look at today. Let's see. I'm going to scroll up. Sorry if I'm making anyone dizzy here. All right. So this has been pulled from Delphi Docs. Delphi Docs, if you are you come across this and you don't want me to use this, please let me know. I will be more than happy to cut this information out of my live stream. I do recommend that if y'all want to take a look at this, what you could do is you go to Delphi Docs, okay, and then go to this timeline right here. So they did a really good job of putting together a timeline. There's also another sub Delphi timeline, and I don't think it's really being maintained or managed, but that one's kind of really cool because it does have like a Google Earth or Google Maps built into it where you can go to the exact place. But I don't think it's really being maintained. So this is what I'm using today. Okay, so what I did is I downloaded a PDF here, and then we're going to walk through some of this stuff. So let's get started here. So, all right, y'all remember the factory reset? So that occurred based on these sources here on February 4th or 5th of 2017. Okay, so what is that? That is 8 to 9, what is it? 9 to 10 days prior to February 13th. Libby had a factory reset her phone. Okay. Now on Sunday, February 12th, 2017, Libby and Abby had a sleepover at Libby's house. The girls spent the evening hanging out in Libby's room, painting, eating pizza, watching movies with Kelsey, and making videos into early Monday morning. Okay. On Monday, February 13th, 2017, at 3 a.m., Libby and Abby posted some videos to the website musical.ly. I've never heard of that actually. So let's see here. I think I have this. Okay. So the source of this now is Julie Melvin. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and play this. Please check out Julie Melvin's page if you'd like to look at this. Right. So yeah, so there was some videos on Instagram. I don't know exactly what was from the sleepover. Obviously this one most likely isn't. If you can see, I mean, it's Halloween too, and there's some greenery going on. Um, I think it might be this one, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Okay. So there's no school on Monday, February 13th. And that is essentially why there was a sleepover on Sunday, right? So there's no school on Monday. It's a built-in snow day. So what Indiana does, and my kids were in the Indiana school system, so I know this pretty well, is they built in different, some snow days, right? And if you get to a certain point of the year and you haven't needed to use a snow day, they start giving days off of school. So when I went to school, which was a very long time ago, we would have the calendar, right? And then, say they built in 5 days. So if you didn't use those snow days, you would be let out 5 days earlier than previously scheduled. So Indiana does it a little bit differently, that they give back these days throughout the year. Okay. So Ron Logan, right, drove away from his home to do errands. Mr. Logan owned the property where the girls' bodies were found. So I have here, let's see. I kind of put this out of order, but I believe this is the article. So this was posted April 3rd, 2017, and it was updated that same day, like maybe an hour, 4 minutes later. All right, so this is where that information is pulling from. Right here, let's see if we can find the area. I mean, wasn't supposed to be driving, we know that. So he was driving throughout that day. Oh, right here. Ron Logan admitted to the Carroll County judge that he violated probation by driving to a county dump site on the day 2 young Delphi girls were murdered on his land. Okay, so wasn't supposed to be driving. All right. So Libby asked Kelsey if she wanted to go with them to the trails. Kelsey told them she had plans, but would drop them off if Libby found a ride home. Okay. So this kind of takes us around the 1:00 area. So prior to Kelsey, based on the information that we have here, prior to Kelsey taking the girls, Derek German had left the house to go take pictures 30 minutes prior to Kelsey leaving. Okay. So he went to go run errands for Becky. He went to go retake some photos. I believe Becky operates an appraisal. She's an appraiser. So he went to go take pictures of homes. Okay. So also the Logan sworn affidavit written by special agent with the FBI states that Libby and Abby were dropped off at the trails approximately 1:00. Okay. It is believed that the girls were dropped off at the Mears lot. That is where they were dropped off based on what occurred in trial. And then also we've seen the exhibit of her vehicle passing the Hoosier, was it Harvest Store? Okay. So then Libby called. So she called Derek German for a ride home from the trails. Okay. So I know there's been some like, hey, what happened? Were they in the car when the girls called Derek? Were they at the house? Um, so based on this information, the girls were at the trails when they called Derek German. And then he was going to pick them up in about an hour and a half. And then Kelsey's cell phone records, and this came out more at the trial level, that she dropped him off, I think 138, 148, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. So, all right, let me check with chat here. So, sees through says, why didn't they ask Derek? I believe they did ask Derek. Do you have something else that indicates that they didn't, or are you talking about the ride home? I'd like to get some more information on that. Heather, I hope you feel better as well. This stinks being sick or not feeling well. Okay, so, all right, so that takes us at 2:07. All right, so I'm going to go. Yeah, I agree, sees through. Yep, it was 148 drop off based on what was coming on in the trial. I think what this is really kind of getting at is 138. It was because Kelsey remembers calling her boyfriend in the car. So that is the time, that she could kind of gauge where she was. But yeah, it was 10 minutes later than that. You're pretty sharp. All right. So where was I? I'm sorry. All right. So the photo. Let's go to the photo. Okay. So this is at 2:07 right here. This is where everyone was always trying to figure out what time, like what was 7 hours ago. So this is the photo that they could not find on Libby's phone of Abby on the bridge at 2:07. Sorry, can y'all hear my dog? What you doing? Okay. Okay, so Libby took a video. So this link is no longer active anymore, but she did take, the video, which shows a man walking on the bridge. And then here's the audio that was originally released. And I think we've all heard it, but I'm just going to go ahead and play it for y'all. All right. So we all know there was a lot more to all of that video or audio. The public still does not have access to the full video. I mean, from court, like I don't understand why they're not releasing that. I mean, for Christ's sakes, that video has been in circulation, or at least the audio from it, and the still picture, or the little loop of bridge guy was out there for 7 years. And apparently it's an investigative it's part of the investigation, so the public doesn't have a right to get it. Anyway, all right, so okay, sees through says, I meant ask Derek to take them at 1. Yeah, that's a good point. And that's why I was like, okay, I feel like they had planned to go to the trails way sooner than 1 a.m., right? And we know this too because of what came out with in the Kagan Klein transcripts, right? I mean, Kagan Klein did say, or the investigators during the interrogation said that, Anthony Schatz was supposed to meet up with the girls. So they planned on, and then also what came out too was Logan Holder they invited him, right? So I don't know why they didn't ask at 1. The fact that they wanted Kelsey to go, to me, speaks like they were going to meet up with somebody. They wanted like an older person there. That's my belief. So that's a good question. 1 second, y'all. I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that. Sorry. I had to let my dog out. You know how that goes, y'all. In, out, in, out, in, out. All right. So where did I leave off? 3 p.m., a woman claimed to be at the trails and cross the bridge. Okay. So this is obviously what? Betsy Blair? Actually, no. Why would this be Betsy Blair? All right. So when I click on this source here, it doesn't work any longer. See that? So I can't get more context on that. Oh, maybe Cheyenne. Yeah, you brought up a good point. Cheyenne or Shelby, Duncan or Hicks. Yeah, and it says cross the bridge. You're right. It's probably Cheyenne. Sees through. All right. So Derek called Libby on his way to the trail to let her know he was on the way. He arrived at the trailhead at 3:14. I think what 3:11 is kind of like a milestone because that's where he called Libby. What was it from the what bridge is that? Wilson's Bridge? Is that the Wilson's Bridge, I believe? So 3:14 is where, what does see-through say? No records of calling Derek. Wait, I'm sorry. No records of Derek calling Libby's phone that I've seen at that time. But at 3:11? Okay. So 3:14, Derek arrived at the trailhead and tried calling Libby to let her know he was there to pick them up. His call went to her voicemail. Okay, so this is interesting too because 3:14, that phone was not, to my understanding, off at 3:14. So either there's bad signals or what, or somebody else was calling simultaneously. 3:30, Derek called Becky and Tara because Libby wasn't answering her phone. All right, so this is, and see-through, I see your comment here because so see-through says Derek's car is seen at Mears at 2:44, according to Flannel Shirt Guy. But here's the thing about that. I don't know. Was it a station wagon see-through? Hey, Mother of Dragons. Right, didn't Derek have a station wagon? I don't know. Do you think Flannel Shirt Guy could be trying to throw off the time because he wants to place himself there, you know, at a different time. All right. So Derek ran into a local man referred to as flannel shirt guy because he was wearing a flannel shirt on the trail leading to the bridge. Derek asked if he saw the girls. The man said no, but he did see a couple. So this is like the couple down by the bridge, which I still don't know who the heck that is. Like, does anyone know who that couple is? Down at the bridge, by the bridge, under the bridge. Because according to Shelby Hicks, she did not go down by the creek. Shelby Hicks and Danielle Pearson, right? Like is that white Impreza? Is that Shelby's car though? Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm looking at chat here. So yeah, I just like it gets confusing here. So if Derek was there earlier, kind of changes things, doesn't it? Messes the whole timeline up. All right, so I have here. Okay, let me continue. The man said no, but he did see a couple. Like I said, Derek walked the lower trail to the creek and then the trail leading to Freedom Bridge. Okay, I want to ask y'all a question. Does people believe that Derek German walked down all the way down the 505 trail to the creek or creek? Because that trail goes more and more narrow as it goes down, and it's pretty steep, and it's very difficult to get back up. I don't know. Does anyone here that walked that trail, the 505? I would like to hear what your comments are, because it's my understanding that Derek is a pretty big guy. I didn't see him when I went to trial. I don't recall seeing him. But I've seen him on video. Hey, Criminal Network. Nice to see you. Okay. So C-Through says Danielle Pearson and Shelby arrive at 2:48. I don't know. Like I don't know if something's fishy about this, the timeline. That's all I have to say about when Danielle Pearson was there or not. No problem. I hope you're getting back to a regular schedule. I would love to have you on my show to talk about Skinhead Mike and who was the other person? Something tranny buff or something. I don't know. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. All that stuff happened to you. That's insane. So Criminal Network says at 2:48, in my opinion, Rick was headed home already. I mean, based on what he had told investigators, he was already gone. Right? All right. So let me go to this source because I think this is a video as well that we can watch. All right. So this here, fair use, I want to say, is from, I should probably take the transcript off. James Renner. And I'm going to hit play. Okay, so she already said an hour and a half that he was going to be gone. Oh, no? Oh, there's no sound? Thank you. All right, let me try this again. Thank you for letting me know. Let me see. It might be, let me try to stop sharing and reshare. Okay, I know what I did. Thank you so much, Sees Through. Okay, I'm going to rewind it a little bit. Hopefully I don't bring it too back.
Did her father realize something was wrong?
Okay, I'm going to go a little bit further.
Hours. See a photographer? Is that like what you say? You stay
No,
taking
sorry,
pictures?
y'all. I should have marked the exact time I had up.
And so what she did, she called him and we told her that he would pick her up when he was done. So in an hour to 2 hours. He didn't know exactly,
Sure.
but we knew it wasn't going to be more than an hour to 2 hours.
See a photographer? Is that like what you say? You stay
No,
taking pictures?
No, we just have to take pictures of the houses we use.
For
appraisals.
Oh, right, sure. Right. And okay, so she's got to ride back, and then so when did anybody? Did her father realize something was wrong, or when did we realize that?
He called him. He was on his way to pick her up,
yeah.
And he called her to tell her, wherever you are, start to the trailhead. So
yeah.
I'm going to be there in a couple of minutes. His first phone call to her was at 3:11, and it went to voicemail. So he got there to the trailhead, and he called her again to say, "Hey, I'm here." And she didn't answer, so he got out and was walking around, and he didn't see her. He actually passed the guy and said, "Hey, did you see a couple of girls?" And he said, "No, but there's a couple under the bridge." So he started.
Okay, see, remember the whole under the bridge? So we see where that's coming from, right? Okay, I'm going to continue. Oh, you can? You can turn the camera on that video. It's a 360. Oh, I'll be damned. Let's see. Oh. Oh, thank you. Man, sister's, she's got my back today, he or she.
Instead of, because the guy was coming from the bridge, since he said there was nobody there, he went down the hill and to look and see if maybe they were down. And but he didn't see anybody, so he called me about 3:30 and said, "Libby's not answering her phone. I don't see her." So that's when I started calling, and my daughter works with me, and she started calling, and we started texting and messaging, and about 4 o'clock, we knew that's not like Libby not to answer her phone. So we're thinking, okay, what's going on?
Yeah.
At that point in time, it wasn't anything. We weren't thinking something serious at this time. And so I called Mike and said, "Hey, Libby's not answering the phone.
Okay, so yeah, so this did come out at trial, right? He couldn't get her to, she didn't answer the phone, but I didn't hear anything about a voicemail, that it went to voicemail. Let's hear it again. I could be.
What's going on?
Yeah.
At that point in time, it wasn't anything. We weren't thinking something serious.
I'm going to go back a little bit further. Sorry, y'all have to hear it again.
And, but he didn't see anybody, so he called me about 3:30 and said, Libby's not answering the phone. I don't see her. So that's when I started calling, and my daughter works with me, and she started calling, and we started texting and messaging, and about 4 o'clock, we knew that's not like Libby not to answer a phone. So we're thinking, okay, what's going on?
Yeah.
At that point in time, it wasn't anything. We weren't thinking something serious at this time.
Okay, so that leaves us to 4 o'clock, right? So Becky called Mike Patty at work to let him know the girls were not at the pickup location. Derek returned to the parking area to wait for family to arrive. Okay, so going back, and this kind of aligns with what happened at trial, what was said in trial. Derek ran into Flannel Shirt Guy, and that is at the connector, right, where kind of like all the, the Mears lot. There's a trail right there, and then I think if you go like a little bit to the right, and there's the 505, you could go down, or you can go left to the Monon High Bridge, or you can go right to the Freedom Bridge, right? So he ran into David McCain, and David McCain said, and according to this, that there is a couple down under the bridge. So that's where that came from. All right, so that leads us, okay, to 4 o'clock. Like I said, she contacted Mike Patty. And then Derek is sitting in the parking area to wait for the family to arrive. So more people were coming, right? And around this same time is when we got Cheyenne, right? And Daniel Pearson going towards their vehicle. And then they see a guy sitting in his car, right? And they also see Maya Abbott and the boy that was with her. I have his name written down somewhere. I always forget his name. He was on like a Razor or a 4x4 or whatever. And there's all these people. Remember, 4 o'clock, we got Derek German in the Mears lot. We got people returning to the vehicle to leave. We got the moped couple. That's what they're referred to at trial. and supposedly, right around this time, we got Richard Allen, or Bloody and Muddy Dude, walking down 300 North, going west, and nobody sees him. And I mean, I posted some photos on my community page as far as what that road looks like. It is very narrow, and there's nothing but field. Like, it's just open. So like right when you, like, let's just go with the state's theory, right? Bridge guy walks up. He's going like kind of through the cemetery or right next to the cemetery, right? That area does have a little bit of trees, okay? But as soon as you go west, there's some tree line, but it just stops, and it's just nothing but open field, okay? Both on your left, to the right, and then you got the Mears farm, which is now the McCain farm, technically speaking. And then you got the trailhead. And nobody's seen this bridge guy or this muddy and bloody dude. So, I mean, it's not like everyone was sitting in their vehicles either. And there was some arguing going on. I guess this couple, the moped couple, were arguing. So they're, you know, can't hide in a vehicle when you're on a moped. So let me look at chat. All right. So Skip says, if Cheyenne took the photo at 2:49 from the south side of the bridge, how were DP and SH already at the bridge if they arrived at 2:48? Especially since they claimed to walk the other way first. Yeah, you're correct. So, like, based on Cheyenne's testimony, they arrived, what, at 2:30? I think that's what it said. And then they walked almost to the Freedom Bridge, right? And then they turned around and then walked to the Monon High Bridge. So they're on the 501. So they go from the connector trail, right? And then they go right. And they go to the Freedom Bridge, but not all the way. Turn around, go all the way back. So they pass the mirrors at, like, you can see the vehicles in the mirrors lot when you're passing it, and they go to the High Bridge. So, good point. Skip also says, here's my advice. Forget everything you think you know about the first 2 years of the investigation. Fortunately, the truth is coming soon. I hope so. Seaster says, that was McCain that saw the Maya Abbott and Carl Abbott at 411 as he was leaving. But I think also, Seaster, I'm pretty certain that somebody else seen the moped couple. And I'm pretty sure that is Cheyenne. I could be wrong, but yeah, she did see that. So I thought Cheyenne's pick was 340. Skip, you got some clarification for that? I thought Cheyenne's pick was at 340. I mean, we could pull it up. Hold on, let me try to pull it up. I'll pull up the exhibit or the transcripts. Hold on. Let's get to the bottom of this. All right. Okay. Oh my gosh, I have them all in image files. Let me see if I can find the PDF. Okay. Oh, and I got Exhibit VB. Let me see Exhibit VB. Okay. Ooh, what the hell? Why is it doing that? Okay, yeah. So let me share this. All right. So this is Exhibit VB. Cheyenne. Okay, she says, the picture I attach is the timestamp 3:49 and that was taken after I made it to the end of the bridge and turned around and was on my way back. Let me see if I can make it bigger. All right. All right, so, or she posted around then. And Venue 03 says, hey, Skip, how you been, man? Noe. Skip says, I think she posted it at that time. They've all lied so much, it's hard to keep up with their stories. Yeah, that the whole thing that is confusing to me. And wasn't there like a different time too? I thought there was like a controversy of that photo with the bridge. Carol wants to know, does anyone know anything about Julian Powell? Isn't she like like a murderer or something? Or do I have that mixed up? Let me Google it. That name sounds familiar. Oh, she's in Delphi? No. Oh. Julian Powell was there the day before taking pics for Google. Yeah, I do recall that. Was that like, does she have a Flickr? There's like a Flickr that has a bunch of photos from like that. I don't know if it's the, what is it? Wabash Canal or whatever. Or not Wabash. I'm sorry. I am lost for words right now. But you know what I mean? Like the, yeah, Wabash Canal. Weird guy was interviewed. Who's the weird guy to you? He also claimed to be there that day too. Oh, it's the he? Thank you. I'm really bad, ain't I, today? Jeez. Calling guys, girls, guys. I know, but he admitted being on the trails that day. She's talking to Carol. Yes, he did, although I have seen no proof of it. He done an interview or two with SI. Oh, Sleuth Intuition. All right, now I need to figure out what's going on with this Julian Powell, this dude. Let's see what we can find. Here's something. What's the story with Kagan Klein, Tony Klein, and Julian Powell? Is his middle name Anthony? I remember, like, wasn't there like somebody at the bridge, or no, the trails that day that pulled to the side of the road? Do you hear my dog? My dog's barking outside. He pulled to the side of the pull off by the trails, and I guess he was supposed to go into work that day and decided that he was going to take a walk and then turned around and went home. Does anyone remember that dude? Is this Julian Powell that you're talking about? Where they did interview him and had him give him his DNA. Is that who you're talking about? I think Sleuth did interview him or something. Yes, thank you. Okay. My memory's You know what we should do? We should do Delphi trivia one day. Yes, that dude is weird. And that interview was very strange too, because he was like, I don't know if I'm having a fake memory, if I was really there or not. It was so bizarre. Yes, was heading to work and then turned around after going for a walk, as you do. LOL. Yeah. Well, you know what? That is a good rabbit hole to go down to. I'm writing this down because maybe Cryptex and I can talk about it one day, because we like to do our little rabbit holes. Okay, I'm writing it down. Thank you, ladies. Or, oh my God, you're not all ladies. Sorry. I'm going to stop. All right, so let me go back here. All right. So where did we leave off? We left off at that video, right? Okay, so Becky called Patty at work to let him know the girls. I'm not sharing. Hold on. All right. Okay. Can y'all see that? Good. All right. So Becky called Mike. Figure out Derek returned to the parking area to wait for family to arrive. So at 5 o'clock, Becky called AT&T to track Libby's phone. All right. So I do have. Is that this? Let's play this. I swear, I'm acting like I don't know how to operate StreamYard after not being on for a week or two. Okay, I'm doing a new share. Let's back up. Thank you.
His older sister. Okay.
Cody was on too.
I'm sorry, what?
Cody, my other son.
Oh, and your other son, Cody. Okay. So those were, there
Cody's not her son, right?
was nobody, like no friends stopping in, staying there for a week. There was no guests or anything, right?
Yes, no anything. My house was full. There were 6 of us.
Okay. So Tara, you decide to go down there. And who was with you at this time? Tara German is Libby's aunt. So Tara, you decide to go down. Who goes with you? And then what happens from there?
I'm by myself.
Okay.
When I leave the office, and Mom was letting her dogs out, and I knew she was coming behind shortly. So I was by myself.
Mm-hmm.
My wife was meeting me there.
Okay, so this is Tara German, I believe.
She was at my house with the kids,
Mm-hmm.
and I told her, hey, this is what's going on. I'm going to the bridge, which I had never been to ever
Mm-hmm.
until this day. And so when I got there, Derek got in my vehicle with me, and he was telling me where all he had been, where all he walked to.
Mm-hmm.
Then my wife had pulled up, and we decided that we were going to go ahead and walk and see if we could go separate ways to see if we could find them as well.
Okay.
So we walked the trail, and I walked to the bridge, to the edge of the bridge. There were a couple of kids that came walking up.
Okay, I know. Can y'all hear the sound? Because I did click to play the sound. I don't know if No Way 1593 if you're behind or not, because I originally didn't play the sound by accident, but I believe I'm playing the sound now. Cease through. Can you hear the sound? Okay, as we wait, okay, thank you. So Noe says, a very well-trained retired master trooper with ISP, FBI undercover, CIA, Air Force, has 2 governmental clearances for Central Intelligence, once told me that the most obvious is usually your answer. Yeah, usually. Okay. Going on. All right.
They were students at Delphi as well. I knew who they were. I had asked them, hey, have you seen Abby or Libby? And they both said that they hadn't seen them, that there was somebody else that was there looking for them, which come to find out was Derek.
Okay.
And he had also asked if they had seen the girls as well. At that point, I was not getting on the bridge. I wasn't crossing the bridge. I was doing none of the above.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided, well, all of us are here. So I'm going to take off, and I'm going to go into town and go to that end of the trail and work my way back.
Right.
To
Okay.
see if they went the opposite way towards town.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point in time, my wife and I left, and we drove into town. We came up the back side. We drove all over. I was thinking, gosh, what if, at this point in time, I was thinking, what if one of them fell off the bridge?
Now you're starting to get worried. Right.
And the other one went in. Point we're going to places where we can get to where the creek follows. So we went down by our Little League field. We went down by another park that is there. We looked to see if we could see anything. So we weren't at the trail at that time. The others were there or had already left and was looking other places as well.
Mm-hmm.
Where everybody went after that, I'm not sure. I know I ran into Mike at some point as he was talking to one of the officers after they had shown up.
When did you call? When did you decide to call the police?
It was, I had been on the phone with AT&T trying to get them to ping Libby's phone.
Mm-hmm. And this is
Okay, so according to the timeline, right? This would place us around 5 o'clock, right? Okay, so I'm going to go back to this.
This is Becky talking, everybody. Okay, I'm sorry, Becky. Go ahead.
That's fine. I had been on the phone with AT&T for quite some time trying to get them to ping Libby's phone, and they never would. And I realized at this time it was about 20 after 5, or it was quarter after 5 or so.
Mm-hmm.
And looked up and I realized it was going to be getting dark soon. And Mike came walking up, and I said, we've got to call the police.
Right.
It's going to get dark soon, so we need to get them out here before that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think this timeline also has when the sun was setting. So we'll get to that here in just a moment. So at 5:20, Becky and Mike called law enforcement to report the girls missing. At 5:30, the Carroll County scanner reported to the community that the girls were missing. Okay, so this link takes me, it wasn't working, or it wasn't, or at least I wasn't able to play it on my computer. I think this Carroll County scanner is a Facebook group, if I'm not mistaken, and I just couldn't get it to come up. Okay, so an FBI agent who was with an Indiana State Patrol officer in Lafayette when the call came in assisted with the search. Okay, so that is right here. So Becky Patty states the FBI agent's base is at the state police post in Lafayette. He was there when the call came in about the girls. He was talking to the officer that looked at the call. He asked if they wanted help. We did not know him, and he is not who Mike called. So Becky left to go to Anna's house and left a message with a family member. Mike walked back towards town and encountered two officers that came after he called. Anna left work and went to meet Becky at the police station. 6 o'clock. All right. Becky and Anna went to the police station. They provided information to law enforcement so they could ping the phone. Mike and Kelsey went back to the house to gather up electronic devices and take back to the station. Okay. So Libby's Snapchat at 6 o'clock was discovered. One of her followers shared the photo on Facebook. So that is, let's take here. Okay. So let me see if I could get this to play. It wasn't playing last time. Well, hold on. We're going to have to look. All right. I'll spare you the ad as I wait. Okay. So see-through says, Skip Jensen, she testified she had just got out of her car and barely on the trail when she got a call at 3:12, and that's what's in the transcripts. Yep. Most obvious in this case is the DG, TK, KK, KG, Benjamin Mears, her little group, and sleepover friends. Okay.
Sheriff's Department are setting to regroup and start to search back up for two missing girls. 13-year-old Abigail Williams and Liberty German were reported missing yesterday. The family dropped them off to go hiking near High Bridge. When the girls didn't show up for their arranged pickup time, family and friends started a search. They were last seen yesterday afternoon. Police, sheriffs, firefighters, and the Department of Natural Resources are all involved in the search for those teenagers right now.
Okay, so that is at, let's see, it was posted at 9:29. So I'm a little bit ahead of myself here. But let's 9:29 p.m. on February 13th. It says, two 13-year-old Carroll County girls are missing after they were dropped off to go hiking on Monday afternoon. Carroll County Sheriff Toby Leazaby said Abby Williams, and Libby German were last seen around 1 o'clock. when they were dropped off near an abandoned railroad bridge called or known as the Monon High Bridge east of Delphi. The girls were supposed to meet up at the same location to be picked up later in the afternoon, but they never showed. So this is interesting. Around 1 o'clock, that's when they were last seen. That's what Toby Lesenby stated at 9:29 p.m. on February 13th, or at least at that time. Maybe a little bit earlier, obviously, because they had to write it. So the family contacted police around 5:30, and crews have been out searching the area along the old railroad bridge. The girls' cell phones are either dead or turned off. Local police, deputies, firefighters, and the Department of Natural Resources are canvassing the area the girls were last seen. Crews search for the missing teens into the night, but because of the dark, the search was slowed around midnight. Crews will regroup and continue the search efforts first thing in the morning. Well, I'm going to go back to that. Libby is described as standing 5'4" tall with a heavy build. She has blonde shoulder-length hair and blue eyes. She was last seen wearing a tie-dyed shirt with fringe at the bottom, gray sweatpants with unknown black leathering and black Nike shoes. Abby is described as standing 5'4" tall with a small build, medium-length blonde hair. They got that one wrong, huh? And hazel eyes. She was last seen wearing a gray zip-up sweatshirt with a burgundy t-shirt underneath and blue jeans. Anyone with information? Yada, yada, yada. Okay? Let's go to this one. So this one...
Monon High Bridge Trail in Delphi. News 18's Alexis Moberger joins us live and reports how several law enforcement agencies are looking for them. Alexis.
Brittany, the two 13-year-old girls went missing hours ago and were told they haven't been answering their phones ever since. The Carroll County Sheriff's Office say the girls were last seen around 1 o'clock this afternoon near the Monon High Bridge Trail. Liberty or Libby German and Abigail Williams were dropped off by a family member. When she came back to pick them up around the arranged time, they never showed up. The sheriff's office was then notified around 5:30 tonight. And right now, several deputies are out looking for the two girls and are even using drones to help locate them. We're also told that DNR is out by the water searching and trying to locate the girls as well. Police are asking for the public's help. If anyone knows anything about where they could be or where they were last seen, they are encouraged to contact the Carroll County Sheriff's Office. We will be following this story and will bring you updates as they become available. Reporting live in Carroll County, Alexis Moberger, News 18.
All right. Okay, sunset 6:20. I think that's pretty much accurate. 6:30, Ron Logan returned home. A neighbor asked Ron Logan for permission to search his property. 7:01, scanner. I couldn't get these to play. 8:01, scanner. 8:22, scanner. 10 o'clock, Becky and Kelsey went back to their house. 11:20 p.m., scanner requesting you all to come back to the station to be briefed. Midnight, official search was suspended due to cold temperatures and rough terrain. So I'm just kind of curious. Like I've heard like different stories about the search being suspended. I know that whole place was lit up. There's another news reporting that shows like 4x4s with lights on. I mean, there was a bunch of, let me see if this will work. Okay. think I might have already opened this link. Okay. Police say they made the decision to suspend the search at 12 a.m., stating that there was no reason to suspect foul play. But friends and family continued to search throughout the night. I mean, why did they think there was no foul play? I mean, I know that they might not have evidence of such foul play, but I mean, if two girls get dropped off, supposedly according to this, what the sheriff say, at 1 o'clock, right? And they come to pick them up. So that's from 1 to midnight. There's, what is that, 11 hours? They're uncounted for. Their phones are not ringing, or they're not picking up their phones. I mean, they were on a freaking abandoned railroad. It is not very sturdy, right? So, I mean, they could have got injured. I mean, the terrain, if anyone's looked at the terrain, I'm sure we're probably all have at this point, you can see it's pretty hilly. There is a big body of water. Maybe it's not so deep, but there's water, right? Like, what if they fell into the water? To say that there was no foul play and to suspend the search is absolutely ridiculous. But I think, I mean, they probably should have told people at some point, get out of the area and have law enforcement take over the search. And what happened to these drones? Did y'all hear them say something about drones? Crazy. All right, let me go back to chat here. We're trying to figure this Cheyenne thing out, huh? All right. So are we looking at her transcript? Because I could pull that up. Let me pull up the transcript. If that's what we're looking at, because I have that right here. All right. Let's pull it up. Let's get her done. All right. So 1 page 2. Okay, line 1. All right, let me share. All right. Okay. Question. Okay. And how is it that you're sitting here today and you know that it was at 3:12 that you received the phone call? Answer. Well, after all that happened, I reported that I was on the trail that day after we found out the girls were missing. And the police officer asked what time I was there. So I had to find out what time. And I knew absolutely that I received that phone call. And so did my best friend that was with me. She heard me take that phone call. So I was able to pinpoint exactly when I was there on the trail. Question. Okay, so do you remember generally where you were located on the trail and when you received that phone call? Yes, I would have just basically gotten out of my car and just barely on the trail. I wasn't to the bridge yet. Okay, and so tell the jury which route you took in your mind when you got out of the car and onto the connector trail. When I got out of my car, we walked onto the connector trail. And when you get to the connector trail, you can either take a left to go to the high bridge or you can take a right and go back towards the interstate. Okay, here's my thing. Like, why did she say back to the interstate? Anyway, go back to the interstate, the Hoosier Heartland, and we chose to go left and head towards the Freedom Bridge. So this, I think, is an error because, like, let's think about this. Is she confused where she parked? Let me read this again. When I got out of my car, we walked onto the connector trail. And when you get to the connector trail, you can either take a left to go to the high bridge, or you can take a right to go back towards the interstate, the Hoosier Heartland, and we chose to go left towards the Freedom Bridge. So that would be right if she was parked at the Mayor's Lot. So what connector trail was she on? And do you notice it doesn't say like SIC? Because when I noticed that when there's an error where somebody said something incorrect, it will say, in parentheses, at SIC or SIC or whatever. I don't know what that stands for, but it doesn't say that. Does not. Okay, so Skip says that is the same one I read on the All Eyes GitHub. Yes, page 122. Okay, it came from GYTB around the 10450 mark. Testimony of Cheyenne Mill on October 31st, 2024. I mean, I think that's where we are. Right? Does this have a date on it? No, this is October 31st. We're talking about the same one. Okay. Connector trail is the trail split. Yes. But wouldn't right be the Freedom Bridge? And who is we? Yeah, let's read that again. That's a good point. 111. Let me go back up. No, 211. No, what number was it? Hold on. Page 122. Yeah, I was way up here. Let's read this again. Yeah, I think we is Cheyenne and Shelby Duncan. Yeah. And okay, right here. Okay. And we being who? Shelby Duncan and I. All right. When you took that left and started walking towards the bridge, did you come across anybody during those travels? I passed one man, which I believe is David McCain. And then when I reached the bridge, I came across a man and a woman, which is Shelby, Duncan? No, I get these Shelbys mixed up. Shelby Hick, right? And Daniel Pearson. Okay, and do you remember, tell the jury what about this man you passed? I remember that he was overweight. Okay, here's the thing. When I see David McCain, I do not see overweight. And I know this is subjective. But I don't maybe chunky, but overweight to me in my mind is kind of like obese. Anyway, I remember that he was overweight and Shelby and I both said hi to him and he did not respond to us. And we kept walking. It was a short interaction, nothing special about it. Okay. So did they call him creepy? Just saying. There's like other people that don't say hi back. Okay, but he didn't respond to us. Okay, do you have any recollection as far as the description of clothing or anything like that? My most accurate statement is what I would have gave to the police, but as of 7 years later, I'm not going to say what I saw and what I didn't see. Okay, fair enough. And so did you continue to walk towards the Mona and High Bridge? Correct. Yes. All right. And at some point when you reached the bridge, did you also encounter these other two people that you mentioned? Yes, I did. Okay. And tell the jury who it was that you encountered at the High Bridge. I walked to the bridge and I happened to look down and see at the first platform. So this is where she came across Shelby Hicks. And look at how she says, and a friend of hers at the time, Daniel. They're on the platform, and I didn't know she was gonna be there that day, but I said, oh, hi. A little quick passing, and Shelby Duncan and I continued to walk across the bridge while they were sitting on the platform. So that is that. Daniel sounds like Derek. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. And then somebody else called him overweight, or maybe it's somewhere else in this transcript where they said he had a camera. Well, Derek German was taking photos. So he could possibly have a camera around his neck too. I'm just saying. I think, and I'm not suspecting Derek German had anything to do with this. I just want to be clear. I don't think he had anything directly to do with this. But what I'm saying is like this is so important to the timeline as to who they saw, because everyone is given a timeline. If those timelines don't match, then there's something obviously wrong with the investigation. You just sent me something? Okay, I'll check. Does Cheyenne say what the guy was wearing? No, I don't think that comes out. And I wish they would have asked her or presented that transcript or a police report. I don't even know if they deposed her or what. If you can find the clerk's record, exhibits 1 through 15, volume 1 through 15, volume 9, page 97. Are you talking about the appellate transcripts or the appellate exhibits? Or are you talking about do you know what exhibit number it is? I could pull it up then. All right, Derek was in a bright orange shirt. Yeah, that's a good point. I feel like she would remember a bright orange shirt, but everyone's memory is different. So that's that. Okay. Let's go back to this timeline. Where was I? Oh, it's on the GitHub. Okay. So, do y'all want me to read this whole thing? What's the date of this article again? This is May 30th, 2019. Okay, so this is post change of direction, right? Where they're looking for the vehicle. In the new sketch. All right, I'll just read it. So on February 13, 2017, best friends Abby Williams, 13, and Liberty German, 14, went out for a hike near their home in Delphi, Indiana, and never came back. That Monday morning, the girls woke up at Libby's grandparents' house after a sleepover. They were reportedly excited about having a day off of school and decided to go for a hike on a popular path nearby. Libby's older sister said she dropped the girls off at the hiking trail around 1:30. Okay, so now it's 1:30. Okay. PM at 2:07, Libby posted a photo on Snapchat of Abby crossing the Monon High Bridge, an abandoned railroad bridge over Deer Creek. Libby's dad, Derek, said he went to pick up the girls at 3:30. Okay, so that's a different time. But they didn't show up, and he was unable to reach Libby on her cell phone. At around 5:30, the girls' family said that they called the sheriff's office. Law enforcement joined friends, family, and volunteers, scouring the woods looking for the girls. Police say that they made a decision to suspend the search at 12 a.m., stating that there was no reason to suspect foul play, but friends and family continued to search throughout the night. Libby's grandfather, Mike Patty, said he knew immediately that something was very wrong. They would have walked into town and called. Libby was resilient enough. She would not have just waited out there until somebody would have shown up, Mike said. That was just not her. Then on February 14th, searchers reportedly found a single shoe. Within minutes, they made another grim discovery. They reportedly found the girls' remains less than a mile from where they had started their hike just 24 hours earlier. The tragedy made headlines around the country and media flooded the small town. Police began their investigation and say they soon found chilling clues related to the girls' last moments alive that Libby managed to capture on her cell phone. On February 15th, investigators released one of them, a grainy photograph of a man crossing the bridge taken by Libby. Authorities released another clip a few days later, a muffled audio recording of a voice saying "down the hill." Investigators wondered if the voice could have belonged to the man in the photo, but the identity of the strange man is still a mystery. So, okay, so this is interesting. So 2 years later, right? More than 2 years, actually. They still didn't know if the man in this photo here is the voice that says "down the hill." So what happened from 2019 to what? When was trial? Gosh, 2024? Where they suddenly figured out this is the same person. Because it's my opinion they believe there was multiple people involved this entire time. I'm just saying. All right. Police called Libby a hero for her quick thinking in capturing the photo and audio evidence. Her family agrees. Those girls loved each other. They were good friends. They never left each other's side. Those girls were heroes, Patty said. A sketch of a person of interest based on witness descriptions was released to the public. And over the years, police have followed several leads. In September 2017, police arrested a sex offender in Colorado who threatened hikers with a hatchet. Since the man resembled the sketch, investigators considered him a person of interest. But after interviewing him, say they were able to rule him out. In January 2019, another accused sex offender was arrested. Police said that his social media posts were full of reports of sex crimes. Once again, though, the lead appeared to be a dead end. A few months later, police released a new sketch of the suspected murderer, as well as additional audio from Libby's phone. What? The guys? Indiana State Police Superintendent Douglas Carter addressed the killer directly at a press conference where he also stated that the killer is believed to be between 18 and 40 of age and either lives, works, or visits Delphi on a regular basis. Like what? A guy that works at CBS? But anyway, we believe you are hiding in plain sight and even maybe in this room, Carter said. We likely have interviewed you or someone close to you. Police and families continue to search for answers, but the case remains unsolved. Mike Patty told Inside Edition that every time a new potential person of interest is mentioned, the families go on an emotional roller coaster. He says he believes that the right person being arrested and prosecuted could at least allow them to move forward. Excuse me. There'll never be closure, he told the news channel. We lost our girls. They are not coming back, but at least it will allow us to move on from this chapter to the next so we could all start to heal, because right now it's just kind of an open wound. Yeah. Okay, going back to chat here. I'm really not sure, to be honest. I'm having a hard time finding it again. Oh. Okay. Free Me says, did Cheyenne give a description of what the guy was wearing? I think I answered that. I'm sorry if I'm going too far back. Yeah, I don't either, Skip. Okay. So the exact verbiage is Cheyenne's last pic was timestamped at by Snapchat at 3:49, but it was taken at 2:49. Maybe she changed her story. They've all had multiple versions. Yes. I mean, these stories keep on changing. And I get it. There is a component of that when it comes to, people's memories changing over time. But you would think like the time, like it's changed to 1 o'clock, 1:30, 1:48. I don't know. I don't like that. Skip Jensen, would a Snapchat have metadata? Yeah, I don't know much about Snapchat either. So I used to log into my son's Snapchat because, I had wanted to make sure he was behaving, and I was just doing my due diligence as a parent. But anyway, I don't know how it exactly functioned though. But I think the metadata of the Snapchat, at least the cache. So there's a Snapchat cache in your phone, and that's where they found everything else, but a couple, like I think the picture of Abby on the bridge is missing. And I think there's a couple other things missing. Okay. Skip says, also, how did DP and SH see DG's vehicle when they got there? Yeah. Didn't they arrive well before him? Yes. That's weird. Unless he arrived. I don't know. Found it. It's a non-confidential exhibit. Exhibit Volume 9, page 97. All right. It'll probably take me a while to pull that up. So I trust y'all can figure that out. And maybe we have another live stream. We bring Skip on and he can talk about everything that he's learned so far about the whole Cheyenne and 2 Shelbys and a Daniel Pearson. All right, so where was I? Okay. Okay, I think I played those 2. So I think I played everything. I wanted to find, I know there's a news report, like I was saying, it was later on that night. I think it was like around 11 o'clock where, they're at the trails and it's pitch dark, but you can see people searching and it's lit up. The whole area is lit up. So just saying. Hey, Anarch, how's it going? All right, so 1:36 a.m. on the 14th, be on the lookout, issued for the missing girls. At 2:30 a.m., the Sheriff Tobe Lesenby decided they need to light up the area. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Please work. Nope. That is not working anymore. 6:35 a.m., people started showing up at the firehouse to search. Okay, this one doesn't work either, but here's that whole canoe thing. Mike Patty got in a canoe to search the creek. It won't. Oh, wait. What's this? Oh, but I don't know.
And we are live. Hello, guys.
Hold on. I would have to go all the way through this. Yeah, I tried to pull up this transcript and I couldn't find it quickly. So might be this. Hold on. Let's see if we could find it. Yeah, why are you up so early on a Sunday morning? Hey, I woke up at 5 a.m. and so starting to become a morning person again. All right, so let's see. Let me know if anyone sees it. Maybe I could try to make this bigger. That's what she said. Okay. I wish I could control F here. Let's see. Oh, I can. Okay, here we go. Would you look at that? Let's see what he says. 1739. Okay.
Actually, I got with one of the local firefighters.
Oh, wait. I got to make sure I'm sharing the volume. Can y'all hear it? Let me know. I'm going to try to play it again.
And jumped in a canoe.
Can y'all hear it? Testing. Could y'all hear that audio? Yeah, I'm going to just play it. Let me know if you can't hear it.
Searchers were still there. And they asked me, hey, what do you want to do? And I said, well, I want to find them. And they said, okay, let's go back out and let's light up that creek. So we kind of started at the bridge and worked our way back towards town. And I don't know how many there were, if it was 20 or 50, but both sides of the creek, we had people walking, flashlights, everything was going. And of course, that probably went an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, time we got back to the fire station again. And I said, all right, looks like morning it is. And I continued to drive around town till about 3:30, just hoping to see something, and came home, and then we convened back there in the morning, probably about 7 o'clock. And actually, I got with one of the local firefighters and jumped in a canoe and floated down creek from the Monon High Bridge down into town. And then I can't remember how, I think I got a ride. Somebody gave me a lift, like on a Ranger or Gator or something, back up to the fire station. And
Okay. So we got on a canoe early in the morning. Okay, so 7:39 a.m. around that time, sunrise in Delphi. 9:04 a.m. Deputy Coles needs a pickup truck removed from the cemetery. So is this I believe this is Pat Brown's pickup truck, if I'm not mistaken. Something with the keys. There was an issue with the keys. All right. At 10 a.m., the official search resumed. Included were family, friends, volunteers, numerous LE agencies, hundreds of citizens, helicopters, and some other various references. All right. Y'all want to see the helicopter video? Let's see if this is still. Nope. No mas. No more. All right. Scanner. Medic 3 ambulance requested east side of Heartland staging area. So that's interesting. That's 10:56 a.m., right? 11 a.m., Kelsey search party crossed the Monon High Bridge. One of the other search groups yelled up to her to ask what kind of shoes the girls were wearing. 11:03, a scanner informing Medic 3 that is on standby in case something happens. 12:15, 2 bodies were found deceased by searchers. It wasn't immediately reported. Let's see if that leak works. Nope. Let's look at this one. Okay. Their volume.
Good afternoon. We are here live in the city of Delphi, a city of 3,000, just 17 miles from Purdue University, and all minds and hearts are with the families of those 13-year-old girls. I can tell you right now that we do not expect to know the identities of the 2 bodies found until late into the evening, maybe not even until tomorrow morning. This much I can tell you right now. I can tell you that 2 bodies were removed from the river just a few minutes ago.
Did y'all hear that? Okay, let's go back.
I can tell you that 2 bodies were removed from the river just a few minutes ago in the same area. 2 bodies were removed from the river just a
2 bodies were removed from the river. That is what he reported.
Few minutes ago in the same area where those 13-year-old girls were found. And of course, at this point, authorities are not identifying the 2 bodies as that belonging to, of course, the 2 girls you just talked about, Libby German and Abby Williams. They were in the same area in this park area this afternoon. They were found at 1 o'clock yesterday where they went missing. Now, as far as the investigation, I can tell you that state police and the FBI have been on the
Y'all see those dogs?
scene now for several hours. A number of units and teams have been here trying to
Is this the Pat Brown truck?
Gather information to try to put this case together. But again, until the coroner.
Okay. Okay, look at, there's a car here. You see that? So this is the rail bridge, the old rail bridge. So like no cars really cross this. This is like a walking trail that leads up to the Freedom Bridge. And this is where Betsy Blair says that she was driving down here and she seen what? 3 girls, 4 girls. So the Voorhees, Wilbur Voorhees' 2 sisters or whatever, like somewhere around this area. And people would park here all the time. I'm just saying. And I think these 2 are like those reporter dudes.
Speaks, we will not know the identity.
No. Did that just kick off? Was that done with? Or did I accidentally? Okay.
Well, this city of 3,000 is on edge.
Back.
2 bound just east of town. They together. Yesterday, they were walking together along the old Monon Bridge just east of town. They did not meet a relative at their pickup location, so those relatives called police around 5:30. So a search has been going on throughout the day since yesterday. As I show you now these images from Skycam 6 in HD, the investigation, I am told, involves city and state police as well as the FBI. Authorities are treating this entire area you see here like a crime scene because they believe, in their words, that foul play was involved because of the way the bodies were found in Deer Creek, a mile east of Delphi. State police today spoke on behalf of the families.
The family asked us to do is to thank all the communities around Delphi and the people here in Delphi for assisting in attempting to locate these the 2 young children that were missing earlier. They just wanted to say thank you to those people, and thank you. They were just wanted to express their gratitude toward the hard work that was done in helping search these children.
Yeah, the mother of one of the girls missing is here on the scene. We asked if she's been given any new information. She did not want to comment at this time, so we're going to leave her alone, give her the space that she needs, and she says she'll talk to us at some point, and we said okay. We are working on a number of developing stories as this story continues this afternoon. The number one, of course, is I'll have the very latest on the investigation, as well as my colleague, Derek Thomas, who is several blocks from here, talking to some of the members of the community and what they think about what has happened here in the city of Delphi. And then I had a chance just maybe 30 minutes ago to catch up with the lunch lady, the lady that fed the 2 teenage girls every day at the middle school. We'll have more of my conversation with the lunch lady tonight on the news at 6. We're live in Delphi. Rafael Sanchez, RTV6.
Oh, there's Mr. Doolin. No, I'm sorry, Mullen. This is the Mullen. As Shibby says, Moon Man Mullen. Kim Riley. And I think he was like, wasn't he like the press guy? And then he retired. And then Doug Carter, the Riddler, took over. And here's Mr. Chobe on the left, or our left at least. All right. Okay. Oh, I'm probably wrong about Sergeant Kim Riley. My bad. But I could have swore he would like acted as a spokesperson at some point. All right. 108 WRTV reported that Assistant Delphi Fire Chief Curtis Borden told them that the girls have been found. At 1:50, Indiana State Police Sergeant Kim Riley, Carroll County Sheriff Tobe Lesby, and Delphi Police Chief Steve Mullins held a joint press conference to announce 2 bodies were found. We seen a portion of that in that clip that Rafael Sanchez reported on. Do y'all want me to? You want to watch the full one if this link works? Let's see if the link works. Okay, so this one is.
I'm Riley. I'm with the Indiana State Police on the public information.
Y'all want us to watch it? I'll just play it.
Information officer from the Lafayette Post.
Steve Mullen, Delphi Police Department, Chief of Police.
Total Eisenberg, Carroll County Sheriff.
Basically, we're going to make this, it's going to be short and sweet. We don't have that much at this point in time. Basically, what we've got, we have found 2 bodies. Is that the Sugar Creek?
Deer Creek.
Deer Creek,
Oh my
sorry.
God.
In Deer Creek, about a mile east of town. We are investigating this as a crime scene. We suspect foul play. We have not made positive identification of the 2 bodies, so we're not going to be releasing any information on them at this point in time. We've got the Indiana State Police is assisting the Carroll County Sheriff's Department and the Delphi City Police Department in the investigation here. We also have the FBI Crime Scene Investigation Group here out of Indianapolis. And one thing the family asked us to do is to thank all the communities around Delphi and the people here in Delphi for assisting in attempting to locate these the 2 young
Why does
children that were
Tobe
missing
always
earlier.
have like a
They
blank
just wanted to say
expression
thank you
on
to those
his face?
people, and thank you. They were just wanted to express their gratitude toward the hard work that was done in helping search for these children.
Has the search been called off for these 2 teenagers?
Not officially, because we have not positively identified the bodies at this point in time.
You have people still searching the woods and creeks and fields.
We still have, there's still people out looking, but it has been scaled back. Let me just put it that way.
Are the bodies of the 2 individuals discovered, are those of young female children?
I'm not at liberty to give that information out as of this time.
Who found them?
I'm not going to say at this point in time.
Why do you believe that there was foul play?
Just the way the bodies were found. That's about all I can say at this point in time.
Were they in the water?
They were on the edge of the water, from what I understand. That's about the best I can tell you.
Any outside injuries?
Okay, so we went from a reporting of the bodies being found or pulled out the river. I forgot Raphael's exact words already, but like they were in the river, which really is a creek. But anyway, and now let's go back to what he just said.
I understand. That's about the best I can tell you.
No,
Outside injuries?
let me go back a little bit
Why
further.
do you believe that there was foul play?
Just the way the bodies were found. That's about all I can say at this point in time.
Were they in the water?
They were on the edge of the water. from what
So
I
they were on the
understand. That's
edge
about
of the
best I can tell
water.
Any outside injuries?
you. I'm not going to make a comment on that at this time.
What time were they found?
That I'm not sure. 12:15? About 12:15 this afternoon.
Are there any either suspects or persons of interest being questioned at this time?
We have not gotten that far into the investigation, so I cannot comment one way or the other.
Sheriff, you are from this community. Talk about the toll this search and this apparent recovery has taken on your county.
I'm sorry.
It's been a long several hours. It's played tremendously on the emotions of the community, but the plus is, the positive is the outreach of love and support for the families involved. I think that's been fantastic. It speaks highly of our community.
You've talked to the families. There's been no identification, but we could hear that this was a sad meeting.
There is some sadness, yes.
How long do you think it's going to take Of what you know so far, how long do you think it's going to take to positively identify these
I can't speak for the coroner. He's the one that.
Come
looking
on
for
now.
that part. That's not something I can give you that information at this point in time.
How far down was it from the bridge? Downstream.
Probably more than a mile, or less than a mile, rather.
I'm going to say somewhere between half and 3/4 of a mile. I'm guessing the road curves back in there, so it's really hard to tell as the crow flies how far it is, but I'm going to guess about a half to 3/4 of a mile back there.
It wasn't that far from where the search started. You mentioned hours of searching, hundreds of people. So were they not in plain sight in that area that it would have taken a long time?
Good
for you
question.
to find them?
We really don't want to comment on that at this point in time.
Is there any?
We don't really want to put out too much information at this point in time. Something I will do, if you follow me on Twitter, I'm going to probably put tweets out approximately every hour on updates. It may be as much as that I'm just going to say we have nothing new at this time, but I will try to do that for at least the next 4 to 6 hours.
How do you suspect? Do you presume that these are the two people you were looking for?
I really can't comment on that at this point in time.
Were there any visible injuries or other signs of trauma to the bodies that were discovered?
We're not going to make any comment on that either. I know we're not giving you much. I understand that, but I mean, we're at the baby stages of this case. At this point in time, I cannot release really much more information. As soon as I can, I will be more than happy to put stuff out.
Who's the lead investigator?
Carroll County is actually the
Sheriff's
lead.
Office.
Is it fair to say the search has been drastically scaled back?
Correct. I will say that, yes.
Sheriff, are you classifying this as a homicide investigation at this stage?
It's a death investigation with unknown sources.
Chief, you have not said anything that this is your town. Talk about the impact this has had on your town.
It's had a terrible impact on our community. The people who participated in the search, the people who have participated in all the efforts to try to find the victims in this case are very much appreciated. But I know that's had a terrible effect on our people.
Oops.
And
Sorry, y'all.
we are grieved this sort of thing would happen here in our community.
Oh, where are we?
I am pleased to see the community come out and help us the way that they have. I'm very pleased to be part of a community that has done everything they have done to help us out in this case.
Going forward, you're going to do everything. Obviously, you can't find out who was involved in this. I know earlier when we talked, pretty much all the law enforcement's been holding back tears because these young girls and families and the whole search is really taking a toll on you. So are you going to do everything, exhaust every option, just like you did in the search, to find out who was involved in this?
Yes.
Anything to say to the community?
Huge thank you.
Yes, thank you for all their help.
Should people in the community be afraid right now based upon what you've seen and you know?
I think people are smart enough in our community to draw their own conclusions about what they should feel and shouldn't feel. Our people are very smart. We have a very good community, and they are very strong, and they are able to draw their own conclusions.
Okay, let's pause here. I'm sorry. I have to pause and say something. Most of us know how this crime scene was, right? Whether you've seen photos of it, seen drawings of it, how it was described in various filings, including the Frank's memo, how they had many specialists look at that crime scene to interpret it, and they can't tell the public at this time that you should be on guard, that there's a murderer out there or murderers. Ridiculous.
Thank you for the question.
Because, and the reason I ask is I hear the words foul play suspected. And people might be wondering if there's somebody running around this community preying on people that they need to be afraid of.
I understand what you're saying.
Libby?
I do. I think people are able to draw their own conclusions about this situation.
How can they
And
draw their
it's
own
hard to figure
conclusions
out
unless you
that,
tell the public?
what the situation warrants them to think. So that's all we have to say about that.
And you said you scaled back the search completely, so the hundreds of people, even they were coming up a little bit ago, can I offer my help? Can I get back out there? At this point, do you guys not want more people heading out in that area? What's the advice for people who do want to be involved in the search?
They can continue to help in the way we need the assistance at.
I'm sorry.
I am not at the scene and I'm not aware of what's going on out there at this point in time, so I can't really say what we're going to use them for. We may be just telling them we thank you for your help, and we may just be sending them back. So, you know, again, it's we believe what, you know, you believe what you can, and then we got to go with the truth that we have. So that's what we're working at.
One final thing. You started off with a statement about finding the bodies. You said Shrewsbury. Can you say that over again with the right creek?
Oh, the bodies were found in the Deer Creek area,
In the Deer Creek,
east of town, about a mile from the 3/4 to a mile east of the
Freedom Bridge.
Freedom Bridge. I know I didn't help you much there, but
It's not from Freedom Bridge or the Monon
High Bridge.
High Bridge.
I'm not sure which bridges.
They're two separate bridges.
I know. So what-
Freedom Bridge is on the state road on the Heartland,
Yeah,
and
okay.
High Bridge is
It's-
the bridge
it's
that's right
back.
up that used to be the
Yeah.
railroad.
So how
bridge.
far from High Bridge? I think that was the last known location.
Within probably 3/4 of a mile or so.
Okay. How close were they to the area where they were supposed to be picked up by the relatives?
Within that 3/4 of a mile. So
okay. Do you hear him? 3/4 of a mile.
With the flow of the creek or against?
Wasn't it like 1,000 feet or something?
Upstream against the flow of the creek.
Or 1,000 meters? I don't know.
Thank you, gentlemen.
thank you.
No, I
That's
think
really
it's
all we got
1,000
right now.
feet. Crazy. I mean, there's a exhibit of the map. I mean, I know it's schematic. All right, let me check in with chat, and I'll probably be wrapping this up. All right. I'm a little bit behind. Okay, I'm going to start here. Nicole's cold. Nicole, hi. I don't know if I said hi to you already. Good to see you. All right, she's my buddy. Yeah, it is. How cold is it by you? And are you getting any bad weather? You don't have to tell me where you are. Please don't tell me where you are, but just curious. Okay. Skip says, I'll give you the exact language from law enforcement. Yes, Riley was great for letting things slip. Carol says, then who moved them to the woods? Cease through says, he was the press guy for, okay, so I was right. See, like, Caesar, you need to come here all the time. Just kidding. Oh. All right. Mother of Dragons says that's it. Anarch, very similar to the UK, where all the northern lot are more used to those conditions, while in the South, people lose their minds. Yeah. I do believe that, so Sister says, I do believe they were found earlier and maybe 12:15 by time they secured the scene. Just my opinion. You don't own coats? That must be nice. Okay. So Skip says it reads, Hicks said that she and Pearson walked over the Monon. Wait. the New Heartland Bridge and then walked into the woods. Okay. Yes. Tobe has that blank face because the sting failed him, in my opinion. Anarch says, although I've seen some lunatics wearing shorts in that kind of weather down where I live, LOL. Like my son wears shorts all year round. Like seriously, I don't know how he's not cold, especially in Chicago. Okay. Sister says, and she's talking to Skip, I know they said they entered at Mears and walked towards Freedom, but not all the way, then turned back and headed to the High Bridge. In this doc, I have passing Riley, the dog walker, as he left. Yes, thank you for bringing that up. Like, okay, I've said this a million times, but I'm going to say it again. To me, a dog is pretty substantial in my opinion. Like everyone, like I think you could remember a dog or describe a dog better than you can with people. And from what I've read, the dog walker, like the bridge guy, was not too far after the dog walker. Like pretty, like I'm talking about like within like 15 minutes is my understanding. So why didn't this Riley dude testify? Because I'm pretty sure he's seen Bridge Guy. I'm just saying. Tobe thinking about his desk candy. Are you talking about his bullet or is that Holman? Yeah. Sisu says, yep, her trial testimony was totally different than what she originally said. None of their stories add up. Yeah, I can't wait to have you on, Skip. I would love to hear your perspective on that. Noe says, Skip, have you ever heard that a family member has reported around 9 a.m. that they had located the bodies in the water? Good question. Skip says, yes. Nicole says, wasn't it a family member on the news the night before they were found calling them victims? Was that Abby's mom? So did I, and that family member is Cody Patty. Oh, that was Eric Williams. Yes. No relation. I always get the Erics mixed up. Erskine and Williams for some reason. Skip says, here's another example. On February 14th, 2017, LE claims they showed DP a photo of DM and he agreed that's who he saw. But LE didn't talk to DM for 3 to 4 days after the murders. Venue 03, I think the rescue team and Benjamin Mears found the girls in the water. They dragged them to the edge of the creek. Then they called somebody to dress Abby, then pull them over the bank. Nicole says, Sorry. Okay. Skip says, see, I heard it was Bitter Beat Poet who showed him the photo of Dan McCain and Derek confirmed. I think I have that screenshot actually sees through of him saying that. I'll look for it next time when Skip's on. They also claim DP did a sketch that day. Why would he do a sketch if he positively identified a photograph? Everything we've been told is a lie. Fact. Oh, it's 36. but the wind chill is 20 and it's misting outside. No major ice or anything yet. We'll see. I hope you don't get it. After staging the bodies, they made the 12:15 the official time. There's a picture with leg standing over the bank, and you can see the drag marks. Sorry, I read it wrong. I thought you meant Derek was shown a picture of Dan McCain, but now I see what you meant, Daniel. So. Okay, there's a reason why everything is so sensical, and there are so many discrepancies. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, that RIT team knew they were found before 12:15 announcement. I agree. I think they were found before 12:15. Yeah, there was 2 dog walkers that day. Riley arrived at 2:30, but Voorhees seen an earlier one that walked back to his vehicle over the Freedom Bridge. So one of them is a wasn't one of the dogs a black dog, like a border collie or something like that? The rescue team made up of a bunch of volunteers, Norse pagan firefighters. Gosh, how many people are pagan? I mean, I don't have a problem with people that are pagan. I'm just curious. Is that a very popular thing? Venue. Now that part doesn't surprise me at all. All right. I think I'm caught up with chat. I've been going on a little bit over 2 hours. So let's see if there's anything else to cover real quick. So at 2 o'clock, there's a scanner mail. I have a 1028. This is on the detail in Delphi. Indiana truck plate 406 NDS. What's a 1028? Okay. 161485 is the last letter F Frank or S Sam. So he's saying Sam. So he's confirming it's 406 NDS as in Sam. Dispatcher 1485 Lafayette. It returns to an orange 2005 Chevrolet. Expires March 7th, 2018. Registered owners are Patrick and Anel Brown. So Pat Brown. So that I think that's that truck we seen in the helicopter footage. But why at 2 o'clock? Are they wondering whose truck? They still don't know whose truck that is? Okay, 4 o'clock, Delphi Community School Superintendent Gregory Briles releases a statement saying that the bodies found were those of 2 missing Delphi Middle School students, despite not being confirmed by LE. 9:34 p.m. scanner notification that Pat and Jill or Angel Brown would be arriving in gray Chevy to retrieve the orange Chevy Colorado that is parked in the scene at the cemetery. So at 9:34, that truck's still there. At 10:21, scanner appeared that dispatch was returning info on a previous request for vehicle registration info. Okay, here's a different car. Light blue 2006 Toyota registered to B. So Brian and Benjamin Beeks of Monticello, Indiana. 10:31, scanner asked for confirmation that units will secure cemetery area. Dispatch confirmed at least 2 units. Notified all units preparing to secure the scene for evening. Why isn't that scene secured? So that maybe they were waiting for that truck to leave. All right, so that takes us up to February 15th. So if anyone wants to look at this timeline, like I said, you would go to Delphi Docs and then timeline and general timeline, and it has all this information. You could download it in a PDF. So thank you to Delphi Docs. I hope I was okay for sharing this online. If you have an issue with it, please reach out to me and I'll be more than happy to remove the content. So I think I'm caught up with chat. I think there's a couple more messages that came in. Here we go. Oh, just click on All Eyes Exhibit before you go. LOL. Okay, yeah. You're right. I do have that. 1 second. Let me do a new share. Let me log into my email because Skip sent me something too that I wanted to pull up. Let's see. Sister, do you want a wrench? I could give you a wrench if you want to put a link in here also. Mm-hmm. Let me pull up my email. What's this? Okay, here's the interview. Okay, this looks like All Eyes' document. Okay. Ooh, why is this doing this? One moment, please. Okay. Let's see, what are we looking for? Is this what you wanted me to pull up, Skip? Should I make it bigger? Let's see. Can y'all see it? All right, so let's see. I think that's too big. All right, so, all right. Narrative. LE Unified Command or FBI meets with Cheyenne to follow up on information she reported to law enforcement on February 14, 2017. Cheyenne parked at Mary's lot and saw to her left was a white car. Shelby Hicks parallel parked along the road. Cheyenne saw a heavyset man who could barely breathe. Oh, wow. Who could barely breathe with a camera taking pictures. Shelby Hicks and Daniel Pearson. After crossing the Monon High Bridge, both Cheyenne and Shelby Duncan walked down the hill on the right side to pee. Cheyenne's first pic was time-stamped by Snapchat at 3:49 p.m., but it was taken at 2:49. Shelby Hicks and Daniel Pearson were gone by the time Cheyenne and Shelby Duncan crossed back across the Monon High Bridge to walk back to their car. When they left, Cheyenne saw a new man in the lot talking on the phone when she got to the Mirrors lot. Okay. A girl and a boy. Okay, so these are the moped couple. So she did see them too. Is there anything more? GYTB around the 104. So 1 hour, 4 minutes, or yeah, it's 1 hour. So we got this hour discrepancy, right? So let's go back to what she says at trial. about the photo. Okay, no, I don't want that. Okay. Okay. Did you or Shelby Duncan take any photos? We took photos while we were on the bridge and on the way back. Okay. At some point, did you have to recover those because you were questioned about it? Yes. And your being out there on that day. Correct. Mr. Rosie says, may I approach and hand the court says, you may. He says, defendant exhibit VV. And she's asked, would you just take a look, documents before you testify, just take a look at those and let me know. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages in total. Take a look at the first VV. Let me know if you have a chance to look at them. I've looked at them. May I continue? Court says yes. Do you recognize the photograph on the first page? Yes. Okay. Just tell the jury what it is. This photo is a photo that I took myself with my personal Snapchat at the time of that day, and is just stating that the timestamp for that individual picture was 3:49. So she says again, this photo is a photo I took myself with my personal Snapchat at the time of that day, and it's just stating that the timestamp for that individual picture was 3:49. Okay. And I took it after I already made it to the end of the bridge and turned back around. Okay. And so does this photograph truly and accurately depict the conditions that existed on the bridge at the time you were there? Yes. Second page. Could you please tell the jury what the photograph is? Or what it represents? The exact same photo, just enlarged, is just a photo without the timestamp. Okay, third page. Could you tell the jury what that photo represents? That photo, also a photo of the bridge on our way back. You can see the platforms, but it's an image that has the water in it underneath. Okay. And does that photo truly and accurately reflect the conditions that existed that day? Yes. And then the fourth image here, fourth page. The fourth page would have been a picture from Shelby Duncan's Snapchat. And it's also the Snapchat storage saved to her phone. So it has the exact time and date that it was also taken and saved to her phone. So did you recover this from her as you were trying to kind of recreate? Correct. Your circumstances. Yes. Okay. And then the picture there, does that truly and accurate depict the conditions as they existed on that day when you were out there to the best of your recollection? Yes. And then the fifth page, same question. What does that reflect? That's her picture of the water, but it's the same thing. It's her photo screenshotting her storage of that picture of that on that day at 3:53. Okay. And is this, again, as the two of you are walking back and across the bridge? Correct. Toward where you originally came from? Correct. Yes. So back to the north side. Is that right? Yes. And then the last page. Would you please tell the jury what the photo represents or reflects? Excuse me. The last image is Shelby Duncan's feet hanging over the platform that we were sitting on, which was the original platform that Shelby Hicks was sitting on when I first showed up. By the time we made it back, she was already gone. So we sat down there for a few minutes, and she took a picture at that point at 3:55 with her legs hanging over the bridge. And does that photo truly and accurately reflect the conditions as it exists at the time you were on the bridge? Yes. And so you essentially gathered all this documentation, these photos, to try to recreate a timeline back in 2017. These pictures were for the deposition, Shelby's pictures. Oh, But the previous pictures, yes, they were from my personal timeline. Okay, and then he moves to emit BB. So that is that. So here's BB. Okay, well, there's more than one photo here. So we got February 13th here. It says my snap. Okay, so this is the enlarged photo. Okay, so this is what she's claiming to be the metadata in a way, right? So details. February 13, 2017, 3:49. So I don't know what this S means, right? Does this, you know what I mean? Like, it'd be interested to know what this S means. And then, because this is an S and this is like information pertaining to the photo, I believe. So they're broken out in a way. So Snapchat, and then it has the JPG number, internal storage, Snapchat, how big it is, and the dimensions or whatever. And then this area always, is this a shadow, everyone? Like, what is this? Is this dirt? Or is this a shadow? Anyway, because I was going down a rabbit hole with underneath this bridge, so I'm just curious if anyone knows that answer. Okay, so here's another photo. It doesn't have like a timestamp on it. This area is creepy to me. Like there's stuff down here. Okay, so this is 3:53. Okay, so this one is 2739. This one is, was that 3610 it ends in? 550. Well, that's when she probably screenshot it. 3610. 757 432. Interesting. That's very interesting. Like, does anyone have any Snapchats that they can check, take 2 photos and see what the image number gets assigned if they're sequential? Seven, 6, 9, 8. 757. So this one's 2224. Wait, 5222. Sorry if I'm making everyone dizzy. Okay. See, my ADD is kicking in. Sorry, everyone. Okay, I know this is Shelby's, right? So this is her feet hanging on the platform. So this is Shelby's Duncan's from her camera, apparently. But look at this. There is an edit button here. What can you edit? This reminds me of the Bree Wilbur situation and the Voorhees. Here's my problem with this. Why are we looking at this? Like this, their phones should have been downloaded and all the metadata should be derived from the phone. Like that is how, at least in Illinois, I could tell you how evidence is emitted. We're not taking screenshots of, the metadata that like, this is not data integrity, in my opinion. I'm just saying, like, this is not. It should all come from like a phone dump, subpoenas, and all that, not people's screenshots. Because we all know screenshots can be manipulated, everyone. Like, that should not have been brought into trial, in my opinion. But I'm not an attorney. So there's that. Was I sharing this whole time or no? Yeah, I was. Good. Okay. All right. I'm just going to catch up back with the chat, and I'm going to end this. I know I said that before. Okay. Sees through. Skip says, Brock Russell is the name of LE officer that interviewed DP. Why did Brock assume he saw DM if LE didn't even interview DM until almost a week later? And why the need for the sketch? I agree. I think they never worked out. He saw McCain until later. I think they thought he saw BG. All right. Free Me says, DP drew a pic of a man in a jacket with a hat, not a guy with a flannel shirt. That's a good point. Very good point. If they brought Dan's sketch was eventually McCain, why didn't they pull it if he made it with SC? You mean Snapchat? All right. Free Me says, notice all the fog of Cheyenne's pic. BG video had no fog right before that. Interesting. Yeah. It appears Cheyenne changed her story, just like the rest of the witnesses. All the photos have shadows and weird things. Yes, they do. Oh. All right. I think I'm caught up. Skip, thank you for sending that over. Oh, let me stop sharing this. Sorry about that. All right. So I think that's it. I think that was an interesting exercise, just to kind of go back and just look at what was being reported and have a discussion. And this has been a really, really good chat tonight. So I thank every one of you for showing up. And hopefully Skip will be back up here or on my show in the near future. So thank you all for joining. I hope you have a safe, warm Saturday night, and obviously tomorrow too. So stay safe out there. Make sure you pack blankets in your vehicle if you have to go somewhere and your cell phone is charged up. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Have a nice night.